Well, I don't want to say I deeply regret staying up to watch the Super Bowl last night, but what an arse game that was. Welcome back to Wales, guys. Hope everyone out there is well. Hey Liam, just saw you. How you doing? Good, thank you. How are you? Big Winter Window is spending 100 mil improving the squad. I am going to boldly say no. Unless I get a message through our transfer budget very soon, we've got nothing to spend. But that doesn't mean we can't improve the squad. It just means we're going to have to get a little bit creative. Some of our players will leave because some of them are already set up to leave. Joris Lang is leaving, George Penn is leaving. A couple of other guys are leaving as well. So we'll see what the transfer gods give us. Wage budget, I currently have £360 a year in the red. Can I explain the Super Bowl scoreline in football terms? Let me try and answer that question. In football terms, it was like a 4-1 win to the Seahawks, but 3 of the goals were penalties. Basically, is the best way to describe that one. Kit's kit of the day is Atlas FC of Mexico, and it's a beautiful, sexy little red number. We like it. We appreciate the kit of the day. Make most of our tactics day as a match engine update in a few days. Oh, again. Do we have to keep doing match engine updates? Like, no one enjoys them, really, do they? Nobody actually enjoys them. Hopefully, though, this transfer window is going to lead to good things happening for us today because, well, frankly, it needs to, doesn't it? Because we're sort of stuck in a bit of a no man's land in mid-table. Past not about though, good. Can we see how the old club's getting on, how your replacement is doing? We can do a little review of the old stomps in a second. That's not a problem when we get back to that home screen. That we certainly can do. It's just doing the thinking. I say the thinking because it's releasing all the players in North America, which we may have a look at some in a second. Let's have a look to doodle, shall we? Let's have a look to doodle. Right, we'll get there. Honestly though, the pass maps I'm not super excited for because I don't really use them. I know that makes me an anomaly, but I don't really make use of them, so it's not going to have a huge effect. Swindon did have a good result this weekend. It's looking like we may have got the wheels back on, at least in terms of the results. What that means in terms of everything else is anyone's guess, but in terms of the results, we're starting to look good again. It's doing a lot of thinking this. That's probably a good thing for us, which is nice. So we'll see. Right, let me focus on one of 5 things at a time. Why are you just skipping? Stop just skipping through days. Bring me back. The transfer window is open. I've got things to do. Do you reckon if you do well in Wales, get a higher National League, lower League 2 job? I would suggest we probably get quite a few offers from around the UK, but it's not really what we're going for. Let's have a look at what business has happened. Ben Ward. Well, Ben Ward. We'll have a look at Ben Ward in just a second. Let me just check what's going on with our players in and out. First, these aren't our players, are they? They're just random footballers. Oh, we've got Morley Lamar joining us as a right back. He looks like the business. He's in from Newport. So that's good. Hey, Andy. Welcome. Welcome to the chaos. Who else has done what? Lang has gone. McKendry has signed for us, which is nice. Anyone else? Shaba's gone. Of course, Shaba went. Alright, let's... How do I look for wonder kids? I scout the entire world with the scouting budget I can get. I scout as much as I can, and then I see what shows up pretty simply. Right, Benwald we were looking at first, see how he's doing. He's retired in this universe, which is probably for the best, because he'd be about 38 now. Best size race players from Swansea, Cardiff, and Newport, that's true. Right, we're looking at old clubs. Right, let's start from Iliopoli. They are still not back in the league, so they've not done wonderfully. We went from there to Hemel. Hemel have been relegated from the league, which is impressive considering where we left them. Let's be honest, that's pretty impressive. They've been relegated. Dumbarton, how are they doing? Have they been relegated? No, they are 4th in League 2, so that's a good time. They're looking good in 4th. They're looking actually quite decent in 4th. They've got the most goals. What's their squad looking like in terms of players? Quinn's still there. That's pretty much it. They've pretty much let all of our other players go. Wouldn't have been Quinn Shooter that was the one I'd have kept for this long. Actually, let's just have a quick look at the Hemel team. Is there anyone in here that we want, that we brought to the club? Doesn't look like it. They've got rid of all of our signings as well. And then Taravao, how are they doing? They are 8th in the league, which again, underwhelming. I'd say I've left every club, or I've made every club better than it was when I got there, but then it's also all dropped off when we got, well, when we left. So that's fun. That's fun. Right, we now have £12,500 a year to spend on players, which is a fortune at this level. But the question then becomes, who is available? What do we need? Let's have a look at our best 11. Just to get an idea of what's going on. I wonder how rare it is to get a wonder kid in a poor rated academy. It's quite rare. It's about 1 in 10,000. So I probably need to sign a left back for sure, and probably a couple of centre mids. Yeah, looks about right. Left back and a couple of centre mids. Now, we've not got a lot of options, but how much can we get? If you go on to players well, if you're sorted money wise, it's true. There's not really a lot I can do with scouting budget, so we're going to have to get lucky. And getting lucky is never the strong point, but we'll have a go. Let's have a look and see who has been released in England over the last few months. A few players, they're not going to be good enough. Fella from Scunthorpe might. Possibly the fella from Southend, but he seems to have found a new club already. Llantwit Major, he would have been good enough because he's joined Llantwit Major. Who else? I wish this screen would stay on the screen I left it on. Stephen Sessignon will be great for us. I mean, he won't come on trial, but we'll ask him anyway, because you never know. We might get lucky. We might get a touch lucky. Fella from Millwall. Do I ever push players on youth contracts? If I can. Highest earner, I have no idea, but I'll check in a second. I suspect it's not someone earning big money. We'll take the fella on trial from Burnley. Again, probably won't come. Same with the fella from Blackburn, but we'll ask. In fact, there's quite a few players here who've been let go from top-ish clubs that we should have a look at just in case. As I said, there's almost no chance any of these guys will actually sign for us, but we'll ask them because there's nothing to lose by doing so. Jaden Bogle has retired. Kabir, I remember being quite good on FM. And that's not Alex Kirk, but he could be potential. Right, let's have a look at our squad of highest paid players. Appearance fee is going to be how we do it. So our highest paid player that we actually own is this guy, William Cole, centre half and right back, that we signed on a free at the start of the season after he got released by West Ham. And I think, in English football terms, he's probably a League One potential player. But at this level, that's basically Cristiano Ronaldo. So, we'll make the most of it. I never poach players on youth contracts, largely because they never want to leave. None of those guys said yes, did they? Literally none of those guys just said yes, which is nice. That was helpful. I will have a little look in a second to see who's been released in America, because that's often a good way to find cheap or free players. That's none of those guys did anything of use. Cool. Nations, North America, United States. Let's have a good career game. His League One ability, player potential. Yeah, absolutely. Like he will be with us if we get promoted. For sure will be with us if we get promoted. Right, let's have a look. Youth departures for... I can never remember it. There we go. Right. Sort by club. Let's start with Atlanta. They usually have some good young players kicking around, so some of them might be willing to join us. It's never guaranteed, but we'll give it a go, because we do need reinforcements. Whether there'll be reinforcements in any positions we actually are desperate for is unlikely, but at this level you just have to find those one or two like 4-star players and you're pretty much walking it, so that's fine. Who else has good young players? Montreal can be 50-50. Charlotte have released too many players for me to keep my brain around. DC. Let's go to DC. The trouble is, there's so many players get released in the US every year. The player we want is probably being released by some team in country bumpkin land that no one's ever heard of. But again, to try and scout all these without actually having a scouting budget is a tough one, to be honest. So I'm just kind of hitting and hoping. Really, these are 60-yard screamers if they go right, and if they go wrong, you look like a twat. So that's how that's going to work. Guess we managed to get the qualifying round of the Conference League. Yeah, probably. Hello, Charlie. How are you? Oh, some of these players do actually want to come on trial with us. Excellent. Are they any good? Likely not, but that's by the by. We'll see. One of these guys could impress us. Our 5 base going. Life is going, fine. How are you? Right, come on. Let's have one of these players be like the top class left back we're looking for. That would be great. Right, Smith, you're a midfielder. Nothing impressive yet. Acosta is a right wing back, of course he is, although potentially quite a good one, so we'll keep an eye on him. McFarland is a midfielder. We don't really play with a cam, but we can convert him if he turns out to be good enough. Lino Enger, he's a left back / left wing back. That pace would have to come out near the top end though. But again, we'll keep an eye on, because you never know what could happen at this level of football. He's going to ask me a stupid question and I'm going to give him a nothing answer, because that's just what we do. Right, we'll see if any of those guys turn out to be good. I'd like us to find more anything. In fact, I could ask the transfer room, couldn't I? I could ask the transfer room. But that's probably actually really smart. Transfer room in. I would like, please, some players. In fact, I'm just going to ask for players in every position, because that really feels like the play at this point, is just to ask them to send me players in every position. The big advantage of this is they do come in at least partially scouted, so we'll have some idea of how good they are, which is obviously going to help us. I say we don't play with a cam. We might actually be playing with a cam. I don't remember. What are we playing with? No, we're not. Okay, cool. Semi-pro, yes, very much a semi-pro club. Very much a semi-pro club. There are, I think there's only one professional club in Wales, unless something dramatic has changed in the time this game world has been running. I would go out of my way to say probably still only one professional club in Wales. That worked brilliantly. I'm glad that worked. Right. So TNS, TNS are definitely a professional club. Is anyone else in that top flight a professional club? Oh, Afan Lido have gone professional. Interesting. Cardiff Met will always be amateur. It's looking like it's just TNS and Afan Lido. So that's good. Which means Afan Lido must have done something recently. Don't know. I don't want to click on club history because it breaks every time I do that. I did know TNS isn't even a Welsh club. They're from Oswestry in Shropshire. You see, I know my stuff. They used to be a Welsh club. They used to be from Llansanfraid Mecca, but they're no longer there. So there you go. There's some Welsh foosball knowledge for you. And yes, what I just said was a word. That was the name of the Welsh village they came from. Llansanfraid Mecca. Which I know, wild, I can pronounce Welsh stuff. Oh, this is a challenge that people always try when they find out I sort of do some Welsh. I'm pretty sure you're referring to There you go, see. Unless it's a longer one. Probably isn't. I don't remember who you are, so I'm gonna... There, he was happy. It's fine. It's fine. He's happy. He's happy with me telling him some stuff. Right, come on, let's see if we get any... We have to leave it about a week to get the transfer room to transfer players in. Don't worry, Rube, that name was also hit the keyboard and made some random words. Well, yes. Yes. I actually don't know the origin of the Welsh language in terms of how it got put into writing. I'm sure there's logic to it, but I don't know what that is. Hello, Chief. I did ask for a left. I was hoping for a slightly better left back than that, but beggars and choosers. Let's have a look at the list, shall we? If I remember how to get it in. There we go. That's the one for list view. Right. Serge Touré is a centre half. Should look at him first. He's not great, but he is A+ rated, so we're going to assume that means good things. We're into Rhyl, Wrexham and Prestatyn. Oh, you've missed out on some beautiful parts of the world. Some beautiful parts of the world there. Right, Georges Libert, let's bring you in. Oh, buddy, you're speaking my language. No fee is exactly what I was looking for. And Jaden Davenport, are you good at stuff? Actually, not awful. I guess we'll give you a loan as well. Beautiful. It's making it work, making the window work. Aladapo Olajide. Sure. Largely because I know if he's rubbish, I can just release him. Come on, you'll do 100. Behave. We both know you will. There you go. Welsh side of Chester as well. It's a nice part of North Wales, even though it's Chester technically. I like North Wales. I'm a big fan of North Wales. Could live there quite happily. Let's leave the old fishing line out and see what happens. Funny enough, our first game of the episode is in the Wrexham general area. It's against Gresford. In fact, it's at home. We're playing in Cardiff. We're not even playing them in Gresford. We're playing in Cardiff. So that's fine. We'll bring them to Cardiff. We'll beat them in Cardiff. That's what I'm saying. Right, let's see if any of those players come in before the game. So I'm not going back in to look at the trial list just yet because I want us to learn a little bit about them. How far away from Cardiff? It's about an hour and a half on the train. Evening, Simon. How are we? Bienvenue and all that good French gubbins. Anyone else good? Come up on our scouting. I've got that narrowed by position. That was silly of me, wasn't it? There could be great players hiding. There is Francisco Javier Rios. Oh, the post-gym feeling's never good. How many teams are in Cardiff? Loads. Loads of them. Well, I mean, this guy says he's English, but he's got a cheeky little Spanish passport. Active work permit. I don't think he does. I think he's got a passport, friend. I think that's what you would call that passports. Right, if I'm going to pay some of your wages, I'm not going to be told where you're playing. Thank you very much, Francisco. Terry Marsden from Afan Lleido could be good if he's any good. He's a bit shit. But, again, beggars and choosers, you know how it goes. Beggars and choosers. Cardiff City, what operation? Championship, probably. Maybe 3 in the game. Well, you've got City, Drax, Met, for sure. And then I'll have a look at the league table in a second. Don't need too many left backs. This team is based in Cardiff. We are in Cardiff. We don't know why we're in the north. There's no logic to us being in the north. Genuinely, that we've tried to figure out, there is no logic to us being in the north, because this is the south table, and Cwmbran is definitely north of Cardiff. I think Llantwit Major are north of Cardiff too. Possibly Llanelli. In fact, almost certainly Llanelli. So yeah, not really sure why. In terms of other players here from Cardiff, I want to say Pontypridd isn't far outside Cardiff. But there's a Cardiff University campus out there. I don't know. Seven Sisters might be reasonably close. Watch the game crash. Now let's save it before I click this, because otherwise it'll break. You might have seen Colwyn Bay in the South Division. It wouldn't shock me at all. Like I said, this league seems to have got a tad jumbled. FM's strong suit has never been doing north and south and regional correctly. But we'll have a look. On Quinn welfare ground. Of course we can't see where the ground is. That'd be too easy. It'd be too easy for it to tell us where a club is in-game, like it used to, back in the old days. It tells us nothing. It tells us nothing. Well, it's south. That's north, south. No, they might have been in the top flight, one would assume. Come on, load up. Yeah, Colwyn Bay are in the Premier. But they are, that is very much North Wales, yes. Chris Kamara's finally signed for LA Galaxy, so they figured out what was up. Always sign Chris Kamara. Oh, it's Osman. Okay. Totally different fella. Entirely different fella. Not even the same person. We've got lots of centre halves potentially coming in. Right. Team-wise, who's covering who is the question. I would like another centre half. Parsons, I remember being reasonably good. I would also quite like a defensive midfielder. So I don't think I need Steele there. I think I will take Anderson. And then that quick math should work. Yeah, let's do it. How come National League North has Oxford City and Bishop Stortford, which is southeast? So, of the 48 teams that are in the north-south level, Oxford City are, in fact, one of the northernmost half. Same with Bishop Stortford. It is a density of teams at the south, in the south, that level. It's also, I mean, that's pretty much it. There are some travel concerns in there as well, like they try and keep all of the London clubs in the National League South, even if they're more northern than some of the other clubs in the north, just because of the travel. They also try and keep East Anglian clubs in the south, just because it's a bastard to get anywhere in the north from East Anglia. So there are like little carve outs, but generally speaking, it is generally half and half. Right, let's make sure we win. Make a difference. Make us all proud. Come on, guys, you've got an audience today. Make us all proud. Come on, Drax. Oh, hello. They've put up more student halls down the back, look. Just surrounded by student halls here in Cardiff. Actually, that does, in fact, sound exactly like Cardiff. How is it a pain to get for Northampton to get to, but it's in North? Yeah, it is. It is a pain, but it's not the hardest thing in the world to get on the M6 from there. So I guess that factors in a little bit as well. Right, come on, let's get on the end of this. Love it. Love it. McLaughlin, come on. Cross it. Cross it, pal. Oh, no. We failed. We failed again. It's alright, though. We won't keep failing. We're going to get all of the wins today. We're going big for the wins. M6, M5, M50. There you go, see? But yeah, it literally, like I say, they sort of draw a north-south divide across the country, but it's a little bit diagonal. It's not. It's very weird because there have been a couple of years where a disproportionate number or a higher proportion of more northern clubs have come up to that level. So there was a season or two where Oxford City played in the Conference South and Brackley played in the Conference North, and they're like 35 minutes apart. They're right next to each other. Pass maps are back tomorrow. I'm glad people are excited. I don't remember the last time I used one, but if it helps you, it helps you. Eugene Niarco doesn't need a pass map. Eugene Niarco just needs a ball and a goal. That's all he needs. It's just like being a kid again. He's just going to keep scoring goals until someone tells him, Eugene, could you stop scoring goals? We're not going to tell him that because... Yeah, heat maps, I actually did use the heat maps, but I didn't use the pass maps. Heat maps are really good for checking that your players are where they should be, but pass maps, psh, pitch tilt. Blah. We don't need pitch tilt. What is that piss? I understand Midland teams being in the north, it's easier to travel north and south, but clubs like Hertfordshire don't make sense. Yeah, but then you get into this debate about what's the answer. Do we have a north, south, east, west league? Do we, there's been a debate at that level forever. Including conversations about should it be 3 leagues like the tier below it. That's not really a right answer. And also, as with everything in football, that we're kind of tied up by history with it, because historically the Conference North used to be all teams around Manchester, and the South used to be all teams around London and Birmingham. So it's just, it's a bit of a throwback. No one's given a lot of consideration. It does mean that the southern teams in the north actually do really struggle financially because of the travel costs. Well, I would say 9 times out of 10, if you are the southernmost team in the National League North, you've got no chance of getting promoted, or you've got no chance of staying in business. One of the two is always true. So they are at a disadvantage. It's why when City moved to the National League South, they pretty much got promoted straight away because the travel costs were gone. But there was nothing else to spend money on. So, I know there's a lot more Northern EFL teams than Southern, might be right. Yes. Yeah, I mean, historically, all of the big clubs were in the North. So, I mean, if you think, like, you go right back to the origins of the Football League, which, Jesus Christ, we're into history lessons now. If you go right back to the origin of the Football League, all of the clubs were in the North. So there have always been a disproportionate number of northern clubs in the league. But also, football is a working class game. A lot of the northern towns are obviously very working class towns. It does make sense. Like, there, you think of the number of like reasonably posh cities in the south that don't have league football clubs, even though they're quite big. Like Bath, for example. Bath has the money and the population. They should have a league football club, but they just don't give a toss about football in Bath. It's just the way it is. Yeah, Truro don't have a big team, but Truro, I think I talked about this the other day. Truro have a huge disadvantage because it's a bastard to get anyone to go and play in Truro. You think, if you're a young person with a young family, or even without a young family, how much money would you want to move to Truro to play football? Say, I don't know, say you've been playing football around London your entire life, and you're still in the south, right? But your family's in the south, your friends are in the south, all that shit. And someone says, hey, do you want to come and play in Truro? Your first question is, where the fuck is Truro? And your next question is there a nightclub there? Which there probably isn't, because Truro is not a big town. And you go, okay, where's the nearest big city? Where's the nearest nice place to live? And you go, it's Plymouth. Oh, how far away is Plymouth? Like an hour and a half. You know? Getting people to go and play in Truro is a nightmare. It's one of those things that as football fans we don't really think about, but football clubs work a lot like supermarkets. You know, you always have like a Tesco Express next to like a Sainsbury's local. Football clubs thrive if they have other clubs near each other, like nearby. It's why the clubs on the M4 corridor can't really survive without each other, because if you look at the number of players who've played for at least two of the Bristol clubs, Swindon, Oxford, Reading, Cardiff, Newport, because they're near each other, you don't really have to move house. Oh, Liam Aldo has joined us. Beautiful. He hasn't got a work permit. We'll keep him around because he's not being paid. Yeah, you give that kind of thought. It's, you know, it's the reason you see a lot of players playing for like Stockport or Oldham that have also played for the other, and possibly for Bury, and or for Crewe and one of the Manchester clubs. And you know, it's Carlisle. We try and be the worst possible, worst way possible, like 8 hours to get there. To be fair, you'd fly from Newcastle to Exeter, and then you drive from there, probably. Do you think Morecambe might be screwed going to the north because of the amount of money they lose? Yes. Yes. I think they're going to find they need owners with very, very deep pockets just to stay where they are, to be honest. Going down will probably be, if not in the short term, in the long term, will be the end of Morecambe. Which is horrible to say, because they're a lovely club with really nice fans. Really good people. It's a really nice little town. But I do think going down is going to end them as a club. So, you know, it's disappointing, but it sadly is the modern game, you know? Really is a problem with the modern game. That's it. And Oldham are a huge club. Oldham are a huge club for that level, and they suffered, which I think sort of tells you everything. About how hard it is at that level. Are you an end of contract free, or are you a free? Because if you've got any ability whatsoever, he's better than Big Pip. He's better than Big Pip. Alright, Big Pip. I'm sorry, pal, but if I can get this fella for free, how about I give you nothing, but I'll give you half what I make. There you go. It's a beautiful deal, because I won't get a fee for him. They've basically given him to me for free anyway. Yeah. The fact that Oldham suffered, and they're a much bigger club than Morecambe could ever hope to be, kind of says it all. You know, it's... I really think something needs to be done about football at that level. And when I say something needs to be done, I think that, first of all, my big thing is, I know this is a thing people will think is a bit weird. I think National League North and South games, and indeed National League itself games, should air on the BBC. I think they should play. They should show at least 2 games a week on the BBC somewhere, and the BBC should have to pay for it. But I think they should be on the BBC, just because the rights fees can't be that big. There's some big clubs there, so people will watch, but it also puts eyes on it and gets more people through the gates. And I think that would really help. Scunthorpe Yeovil examples: 2 clubs championships, non-league, South and North. Exactly. As Simon will tell you all too well, the Yeovil collapse was somewhat spectacular. Forest Green as well, they're very quickly heading that way. And again, it comes back to the trouble with... I'm sure you did, Simon. But again, that's indicative of other footballing troubles. These teams who are, with the greatest respect to them, not big clubs from big towns. I think this will answer your question, Jack, actually. They've got themselves into the Championship, usually by luck above all else. And they've tried to spend well beyond their means to stay there. And then what's happened is that eventually the House of Cards collapses because you can't generate that income. You know, it's if you think to run a Championship club, even like a relegation avoiding just kind of Championship club, you need to bring probably 50 million quid minimum through the door, and that's very conservative. And if you come from if you play in a town of what 30,000 people in a stadium that maybe holds 8,000, 9,000 people, where's that money coming from? You can't charge people 500 quid a ticket to watch the Championship. So where does that money come from? And that's really where the problem is with that kind of situation. Like certain clubs, as much as we love the romance on Football Manager, you can take your club to the Premier League and they can survive and all that, fun stuff that we've all done. Some towns just can't sustain a club at that level. They can't do it. It's not possible. Like the money doesn't exist locally. And that's really the issue. There are some clubs who would love to be in the Championship, who realistically, as much as if you were to be honest or to speak to one of their fans and they were being really honest with you, they will say we'd love to be a Championship club, but it would be the death of us because we can't afford to be there. Like we have a ceiling, and our ceiling is League One, League Two. Feel Leicester is going in the Prem now. High chance they're ready to League One after a point deduction. Yeah, and again, it's not quite the same because Leicester's a big town, but it's not a well-off town. But also the owners who took over from the fellow who died in the helicopter crash, whose name I can't pronounce, they're just completely fucking clueless, to be honest. Exactly, Jack. They overspent on crap players, but it's not just overspending on crap players. They've hired managers that weren't very good. They've hired directors of football, etc., that just aren't very good at what they do. It's the biggest mistake they made, and obviously it's not something they can fix now, but after they won the title, they should have let Ranieri spend as much money as he could get away with. Rodgers did well. Rodgers does well everywhere he goes, though, to be fair. Like, I know he had a rubbish season at Celtic this year, but there's a lot going on. I won't say this like I know it to be fact. Let's say this as pure speculation, educated guesswork. There is something very, very wrong at Celtic in the boardroom, in the club culture at Celtic. And I don't think it's fair to try and say it was Rodgers' fault. He was the one that took the bullet, but he wasn't the guy the gun should have been pointed at. Rodgers should have been sat that season earlier. Maybe. I mean, there is also a phenomenon where you just, like, we've seen this throughout football history. Sometimes a club holds on to a manager that has been good for them for too long, and they don't realise the rot has set in until it's way too late. Prime example of this would be Nottingham Forest in 1992-3. The year they went down, they'd stuck with Brian Clough for years. And we all understand why they stuck with Brian Clough. He's the greatest manager that ever lived, and he won them every trophy going. But what cost them was that nobody had the guts at Forest to go, look, Cloughie's drinking's got the better of him and he doesn't have it anymore. We've got to chuck this boy under the bus before it kills us. And so they didn't. And then it cost them. They got relegated. And it never should have got that far. It needed someone to have the balls to say, look, Brian, mate, you haven't got it anymore. Look, here's a lovely cushy seat in the boardroom. How about you sit down, shut the fuck up, and just enjoy your retirement? And they didn't have the heart to do it. And that cost them for well over a decade. Well over a decade. That was costing them. It happens everywhere. Forest, yes. Maybe. I mean, the Greek fella's got shitloads of money, so he won't worry too much. West Ham are, again, they're another club where the problem is too many idiots in the boardroom, to be honest. I don't understand why they insist on still playing at that stupid fucking stadium. No one likes it. It's got no atmosphere. Their fans hate it. It's overpriced. It's damaging the club's reputation. It's harming their performances on the pitch. Just for Christ's sake, build a new stadium somewhere. Wolves finished as well, so much debt. They have overspent massively as well. Wolves are an interesting situation, actually. Wolves are a club that will never struggle to find an owner. They'll never struggle to find an owner. Because one thing they can offer that a lot of clubs in a similar position can't is they do have the romance of history behind them. You can never really underestimate the importance of having some history to sell a club. West Ham have picked some good form recently. Will just about stay up, maybe. You know, the fact that Wolves do have that not just great history from the 50s, but they were the first world champions of football. Historically incredibly successful, great fan base. Someone would buy them. It's just the fella in charge won't get the money he thinks he should. In my opinion, what happens to Leicester if they go down? They rebuild. Is my honest answer. They'll rebuild. It's going to take a manager to go in there swinging a 10-foot cock around who has the balls to say to the board, look, you fuck this. I'm going to rebuild this from the ground up. It's not going to be a first season promotion. I will get you back up, but you need to let me rebuild my shit from the ground up. I need to stand back and let me do it. It's the only way they go back up. Oh, Gil Kilman. Because they've always produced really good young players, Leicester. And it might do them well to spend a year in League One, getting rid of all the overpaid players from the Championship and even the Premier League ones that are still kicking around. Get rid of them all, rebuild around the youth team, tread water for a year, maybe 2, and then work their way back up. But then it comes down to how greedy are the owners, which is always the problem. And yes, sometimes it is better to get relegated to get going again. We've seen it before a few times. Sheffield Wednesday will go under soon. I don't think they will. They'll find a new owner. Again, they've got the history. I think the biggest problem that Sheffield Wednesday have got is their ground, to be honest. I don't think their ground helps them at all. I think this can't just be me that gets the heebie-jeebies about the idea of going to Hillsborough. And it's not because the team are intimidating, it's just because I don't want to be there. And I think that hurts them. Going to non-league if they don't sell or stay up in League One next season? Maybe. Oh, Jesus, Ashley, what are you doing? Come on, bud, you can score at the other end. It's fine. But don't score at ours. That's stupid. But yeah, I can't see Leicester or Sheffield Wednesday actually going into non-league. I couldn't see it. That would be... Honestly, that would be... near miraculous, or whatever the bad version of miraculous is. It would be a biblical event if Wednesday or Leicester were to end up in non-league. Yeah, what Swindon fans have been saying we'll be in non-league next season for the last 10 years. So let's not count our chickens. We've been saying it for so long that we all believe it now. Gil Kilman scored again. He's broken. He's scoring. But like Sheffield Wednesday are a huge club. Leicester are a pretty huge club. Neither is in danger of non-league. There's never been a truly enormous club that has gone into non-league that I can remember. Like, you could maybe argue Luton are too big a club to be there, but I don't think it'd be a long argument. Like, yeah, but again, Oldham, while I'll fully say Oldham are a big club, they're not. The way I always look at things like that, look at club size, is that if you were to ask, if you were to ask your dad or your granddad where they think a club should be in their head, right? If you play the game of, like, in your head, if I name this club, what division are they in, or what division do they feel like they should be in? Leicester and Sheffield Wednesday will always feel like they should be Premier League or Championship clubs because they're that big. Oldham, I think most people would say feel like a League One club. You know, that's the difference. Right, so, okay, seems anxious. Good, that's what I like my captain. You know, it's all relative, really. Like, Sheffield Wednesday are a club where if they were to get a massive money owner and they were to get into Europe, win the FA Cup, it wouldn't feel like it was a small club doing miracles. It would just feel like they kind of got back to where they were. Same with Leicester in some respects. Maybe not to the same degree. I'd argue Sheffield Wednesday are a bigger club than Leicester. But And Oldham, you wouldn't make the same argument. Bury are a League 1 or 2 club but are in a league, yeah. I mean, that's true. And again, in my head, they're a League 1, League 2 club. Like that's where I picture them as should be, you know? It's like the other end of the argument is if you look at, I don't know, a Forest Green. Why the fuck are Forest Green ever in the league? Like, they should be playing level 10, you know? They're not a big club from a big town. They're a village team from a village. You just have to have that kind of historical context in mind. Like, Wimbledon should be a championship club. Yes, it's not the same Wimbledon, but you'd still think of them as being kind of top 2-3 tiers. And then Muck Dons obviously don't exist, so yeah, Charlton again, in your head, regardless of where they are in the league table, Charlton are a championship side, right? Like, if someone said to you, where should they be, you'd say Charlton are a championship side. It is just all very much relative. How did I end up without a defender on that? Was outstanding, these two. I didn't have another centre half on the bench. McLaughlin, you're coming off for Hargy. Although, Dyche is motivated. Or, Dyche in midfield. There we go. Problem solved. Bob's your uncle. All underway. Yeah, they were a decent Prem club, but they were never a club you looked at and went, oh, they could win the league. You know, if they snuck into the top 6, you wouldn't be like shocked. But you also acknowledge like they've just had a really good year. This isn't where they belong. Come on, oh. It's just one of those things where like, you always have in your head like where a club sits in that hierarchy. Can we get a winner? Is that cool? I say this now. I just left an injured player on the pitch because I'm on moron. Blackburn are a League 1 level club. Controversial. I would say they were a bottom end Premier League club, but I'd fully accept people saying they were a championship club. I don't really see them as a League 1 club. They're a huge club. You know, you look at other clubs that you'd think of as being big clubs, like Blackburn have won a title more recently than Everton have, you know? Burnley are bigger than Blackburn. That will start a war. That'll start a war. See, in my head, Burnley are a championship club. And there's been a lot of years in my life where they weren't that. Nyarko, there's the winner. Eugene steps up. Eugene does his job. And now we can relax because 2 minutes left of the old game, and well, we've successfully beaten Bala. We are on form. We are on form again. Love to see it. Happy days. Let's look at a league table after the game. See where we are. With Swansea in League 1. Swansea being in the 4th division. Say we're Fulham. In my head, Fulham are in the 4th division. I mean, it was funny, but it was probably not, you know. Someone had to do it. Do I think Swindon are bigger than any Prem team? I'd say we're historically bigger than Fulham. Would I say we're bigger now? No. But historically, I'd say we're bigger than Fulham. How dare you, Jack? How dare you? Oh, Brighton. Brighton are probably a bigger club than us. Bournemouth, though. Bournemouth historically could be a shout. We have historically always been above Bournemouth. Certainly when I was a kid, we'd look at Bournemouth as being an easy 3 points. And also the fixture, you always wanted to get the away game at, like, Aprilish. You always wanted the away game at Bournemouth to be around Easter because it was a good day out. Or, like, early, like, August. Maybe early September. Brentford, arguable. Bournemouth being a League 2 team. Yeah. So do I. Very well. Very well. Very aware of Bournemouth as a League 2 team. But again, it's all perspective. Like I said, it's Swansea were a League 2 team when I was a kid, so right. Back up into 4th. Like, that gap is still there. Mole is still 5 points above us. But our next couple of games, we've got Queen's Park Wrexham, which easy pickings, they're 15th. Portmaddock 7th, might be an issue because they're around us. Gilesfield again 6th, probably an issue. Ruthin Town, they're pretty much well below us. I think we're pretty good for the rest of the window. I'd say we're in a good position to rack up some points. Do I think we're going to get into the promotion spots? Probably not, because we're 8 points adrift. Where do I reckon the club would finish in League 2 and how many points? What, Swindon or this club? Like, Drax? I think you'd be lucky if Drax got more than 10 points. They'd look like Wolves in the Premier League, to be honest. I cannot imagine a world in which Drax would get more than 10 points in League 2. Louise, I think you'd do better than Swindon. Well, okay, welcome to chat. Can't believe we're getting Swindon grief from a first timer. But there we go. Yeah, so our best player is this guy, David Widowson. And he joined us from Ipswich. He's not a League 2 player. He's a Conference North, South player. Oh, mate, I love Oxford Swindon games. Right up until the final whistle, and we've inevitably lost. Like, as much as we don't like to admit it, we never beat Oxford. I think I've seen us beat Oxford about 4 times in my life, and I'm 40. Like, it's a great atmosphere, but it's never a good result. We do have a huge roundabout in Swindon. That is a thing we do. Ooh. 7 in a row at least, yeah. When I say Oxford are a big club, no. No, God no. They've played Sunday League football in my lifetime. They're not a big club at all. They can't even finish building a stadium before they start building the next one. I mean, it's not a real club, is it? You know, they can't lay claim to a European trophy like the mighty Town. I'm assuming we're talking the Pox rather than City. I mean, it's not their first time in the Championship. And we do have to remember they have been in the top flight. They have won a trophy. They would have played in Europe if it hadn't been for Liverpool fans being knobheads. There is, they do. They have, so as much as I will make fun of them because they're the Pox, they do have some history. Where do I think Walsall will finish this season? Probably top. To be honest, probably top. Which I know sounds mad, but I think probably top. No, they won't. They'll make the playoffs. I didn't realise they dropped off that badly first. Bromley, but Bromley again. It goes back to what I was saying about where their ceiling is. Like they could survive in League One, but they're not going to go higher and survive. If they go up to League One, they best batten down the hatches to stay there, because if they go any higher, they'll be back in non-league. So again, it's the Icarus thing. They're flying too close to sun. Indeed, Bromley not in Kent. Not in Kent. Have to be very clear, they are not in Kent. Yeah. Like, getting thrown out of League 2 is a thing that a lot of clubs, including Swindon, make look really difficult, but it's not. You can get out of League 2 just by having a competent manager and owner. Genuinely, if you look back through the history of League 2, the teams that go up are always the teams that have the most competent ownership and manager. It's never necessarily the ones that spend the most money on players. It's never any of that shit. It's always the one that just has stability, someone with half a clue involved in management. League One is the hardest league in the 4-league pyramid. I don't know. I'd argue it's probably the Championship. Like, if you think of the 4 leagues, the one that's hardest to pick every year, the hardest one to predict, is always the Championship, because there's always that one team you'd have put money on to go up that ends up fighting relegation, and there's always that one team you thought would get battered every week that's somewhere in the top 7 or 8 teams. It really is a crapshoot. Like, it's basically random number generator is the Championship. Aside from maybe 2 or 3 clubs every year, there's nothing to tell between the others. That's it, Sheffield United. Could go down. We probably all have said they were going to be fighting for promotion. I mean, let me have a look at the Championship table. Get that in my head, because I never look at it, to be honest. Yeah, like if you look at the table right now, yeah, I wouldn't have picked Leicester, Blackburn or either Sheffield club to be where they are. Norwich certainly shouldn't be 17th. Southampton shouldn't be 14th. That's ridiculous. And then you go to the other end and like, the fucking Millwall and Bristol City doing up there? You know? How are Coventry fighting for promotion all of a sudden? Who's my favourite Championship side? It's probably going to be Wrexham. If I had to pick one, it'd be Wrexham. I don't really care about any of them, but it'd probably be Wrexham. Or Borough. Maybe Borough. I do at least have some connection to Borough, so that's probably what I pick. On that then, I've got a connection to Oxford too, but I'm not going to pick them, so, you know, make of that what you will. If Wrexham going up, I don't think should be a surprise, to be honest. I don't think that should be a surprise to as many people as it seems to be. They've got a good manager and they've got bucket loads of fucking money. So, realistically, if you combine a good manager with bucket loads of money, promotions tend to follow. Plus, I do quite enjoy the idea. Wrexham have already got Prem money. I think this is the thing people miss, is Wrexham already have Premier League money. Their turnover is Premier League turnover. Like, it's mid-table Premier League turnover, but it's Premier League turnover. If they go up, and I think they will have top 8 Premier League money coming in almost immediately. Now, whether they can find those players, question mark. I do have this weird hope that Wrexham will go up. They will use that money and they will make themselves contenders for the title. I know it's not going to happen, but I just think it'd be hilarious. The Premier League has never been won by an English manager. It's always been won by a foreign manager, right? Wouldn't it be really funny if Phil Parkinson became the first English manager to win the Premier League while still technically being a foreign manager because he's managing in Wales? That'd be brilliant. That'd be pub trivia forever. Now, I'm not saying he's good enough to put it off. I'm just saying that would be really, really funny. Has a Welsh team ever won the English top flight? I think Cardiff might have done. I think the 50s maybe? Let's ask Google. No. Cardiff in 1923-24 they finished level on points with Huddersfield, who won the title, but they lost the league title essentially on goal difference. And then Swansea finished 6th in 1982. There you go. I think Coventry bottle the automatics. Too early to tell. If they stay injury free, they'll go up automatically. If they don't, they won't. Swansea were the first Welsh team to win the League Cup. Cardiff were the first Welsh team to win the FA Cup. But yeah, there we go. There's some knowledge we've dropped. You could have brought me to be your goalkeeper. Could I? That's interesting. Surprisingly, I haven't seen Celtic or Rangers haven't wanted to come into the English League. It's not the only way they can improve. They have tried once or twice to make that a thing, and it was never going to come off. We've got Stefan Marinkovic. Let's have a look. See if Stefan Marinkovic, who's in our chat on YouTube, is in the game somewhere. Am I spelling that right? It looks like out. Well, you sort of exist, but only as a loan manager. So I'm guessing either you've retired at this point in our game, or you weren't in the database. Do you know a Scottish team has won the Copa del Rey before? Queen's Park were in the first or second FA Cup final, that's true. I did not. Let's... That's a fun fact. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Apparently not on Wikipedia. Wikipedia does not recognise that as a thing that happened. Which is interesting. Oh, Motherwell won an unofficial one, the Copa del Oro, the Gold Cup. They invited Motherwell and Swansea to play, and Motherwell got beaten by, or Motherwell beat Real Madrid in the final. There you go. Motherwell. Right, back in 2 secs, and then we shall get on with more footballing. Okay, right. Just doing a Google. Very quickly. Right, let's get on with some football. Right, do I want to make any changes? Davenport fella feels like he should have been playing by now, but he's not quite there yet, is he? He was very much a for the future option. Rios, probably a better player than Summerskill, to be honest. Well, the game doesn't think so. Is he? I think he's a left back. Surely he's better. Apparently not. Oh well. We trade. No, we changed the team anyway. We are currently doing just fine because we're about to play a team who are not very good. Is basically what's happening. We're about to play a team who are not very good. Want to know a really weird but interesting fact? Switzerland didn't concede a single goal at the 2006 World Cup. Crazy. Which will let you know a similar fact. Scotland didn't concede a single goal at the 2006 World Cup. Admittedly, Scotland didn't play at the 2006 World Cup, but, you know, facts is facts. Right, we're underway, and they are wearing a lovely fetching pink kit. I'm not a fan of it. It's a bit try-hard. But we're going to smash them because they're not very good, and we're slightly better. So, slightly better. I'd like us to be much better though if we could. Okay. Let's defend this. See, if you're going to wear pink, make it hot. Exactly. Exactly that. You got to own that shit. I want to see you from space. So are the only team up to qualify for a tournament to win the whole tournament of the Euros? They are. I remember that very well. It's a great team they had that year. Great team. What a team. Gil Kilman scored again. Honestly, I think the biggest mystery with that Danish team was how they failed to qualify. They had Schmeichel and both Laudrups. And for the kids who aren't old enough to remember, Schmeichel is in the conversation for top 10 keepers of all time. And the Laudrup brothers were arguably 2 of the 10 best players in the world. I thought it was because the Soviet Union collapsed. Was it not because the CIS qualified but didn't? Or qualified then got reorganised into like Georgia and shit? Was that not a thing? It could be Yugoslavia. I know it was one of the Eastern European states. But it's still mad to me that a Danish team with arguably 3 of the best players on the planet at the time didn't qualify. Turkey on the Euros, first non-European nation to do so. It's controversial. Half of Turkey is definitely in Europe. It's just the other half happens to be in Asia. But honestly, like, continental football is weird. Like, I'm yet to see a good reason, aside from the fact all their neighbours hate them, why Israel play in Europe. So, must have been a home team win the Euros at some point. Sure. I don't know who. Off the top of France. Did France not win it in France? Home team's not going to qualify. That's true. Hope a team one day win the Champions League for the first non-European team to win. I mean, so do I, but it's not going to happen in our lifetime. Not unless someone with Elon Musk money buys a Tahitian sign and goes crazy. Portugal, there we go. All right, they've scored a goal. They've got back into this. What I'm not happy because they shouldn't be getting in. We've got to focus. We've got to focus on beating Queen's Park Wrexham now. Was not expecting this to be a game I had to actually put thought into, but there we go. Summer skill, mate, you've been dire. I'll be honest. Same way you been. Confused. You're confused. Let's make it less confusing. This is Olajide. He now plays on the left wing whilst you watch. See? Now you're not confused. You understand exactly what's going on. See how I helped you out? It's because I'm nice. Right. Who else do I want to faff around with? No one right now. I think we're good, actually. Kairat's the first Asian to compete in the Champions League, I believe. No, Maccabi Haifa have been playing in the European Cup forever. Or Maccabi Tel Aviv. Someone from Haifa or Tel Aviv or Jerusalem has played in the European things. The club is based closer to India than Europe, that's true. Been a couple of like East Russian teams though that have qualified for European competition. They've been closer to China than they are to the rest of Europe. You know, and then you look at like Carrier Bag. Carrier Bag have played at most levels. I know they're not actually called Carrier Bag, but they should be. Most Russian teams are in Euro part of Russia. They are, but there are a few that aren't. There are a few that are very much on the Asian side that have done fairly well. Azerbaijan are pretty much in Europe. Yeah, maybe. Again, a lot of UEFA and the AFC is all just geopolitical bollocks because grown men can't get on with each other like intelligent human beings. So who do you think those three all on or before 1984? What, the George Orwell book? Crazy. Orwell talking football. Home winners of the Euros, you'd think. Are we doing World Cup as well? Are you doing Euros or World Cup? Euros, or you said Portugal. I'd assume France must have done at some stage. And Italy or Germany, maybe? I did know that George Weah was the first non-European player to win the Ballon d'Or. It was 98, I believe. Portugal won the French one. Okay, of course they did. So logically it must be Italy and Germany. Because I feel like England had failed to win the Euros if they were the only team that showed up. The men, that is. The women obviously just win it all the time because it's what they do. Lionesses roar and all that shit. 1964, 1968, 1984. The only goalkeeper to win the Ballon d'Or was... I want to say Buffon? But it may have been before Buffon. Lev Yashin. Oh. Didn't realise they had the Ballon d'Or back then. Spain, Italy and France. See, I made a reasonably educated guess. I should have thought of Spain, to be honest. I do think the Ballon d'Or is a bit of a joke, to be honest. The fact that it's always won by an attacking player is just stupid. The last non-attacking player that won it, I think, was Costa Curta, maybe? There have been so many players, like defenders, who've been immense. Goalkeepers who've been immense. Modric I still consider an attacking player. Like, he's an attacking midfielder. He's not a 6, is he? His unhappiness. Okay, I can solve Gareth Parsons' unrest. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell him he's a squad player, and he's gonna get over it. Right. Okay. Cheers, guys. Didn't give a shit. Goodbye. Whatever you leave. These both of you, I think, are leaving. So why are you just causing trouble now? Offers made for Lucas Hurt. I mean, he's replaceable. The only reason I put in an offer to get Everton to stay was because I know I can't find another holding mid. My game either, unfortunately, Stefan. It's a shame. I think, Simon, that Stefan Marinkovic in our YouTube chat, I assume it's the one currently playing for Stara Petsova, but I assume also Stefan Marinkovic may be a fairly common name in Serbia. But I assume he is the goalkeeper of Stara Petsova, according to Transfermarkt. Cannavaro won it in 06. That was who I was thinking of, not Costa Curta. That was who I was thinking of. Weird question, how come dogs can go to non-league games but not EFL games? I'd imagine it's probably for most refs need guide dogs. I'd imagine it's probably just because football grounds are quite loud and they're quite sudden and unpredictable. It's probably more for the safety of the dog than for anyone else, would be my guess. I'd very much doubt anyone had given it much thought beyond that. Cholas Tijuana in offer for Davis. Leaf Davis. I've got so many questions. How has Leaf Davis ended up playing for Benfica for 22 million quid? Leaf Davis? Are you serial? Well, don't get me wrong, he's a better player than I am, but he's not Benfica for 22 million quid good. Jesus wept. That's true, half the Premier League refs need a guide dog because they're blind, but they're not as bad as Charles Breakspear. Fuck that guy. I'm not saying I have more of a problem with Charles Breakspear than I do with any other ref, but if I ran him over with my car, I would reverse to check. He's a fucking knob. Only referee I've ever seen who consistently makes every game by himself. See, Mike Oliver is not a great ref, but he's still better than a lot of the EFL refs. Whereas, like, Charlie Breakspear just gets upset if you're not looking at him at any given time. If all the attention on the pitch isn't on him, he gets a right mard on. I do not know how he's allowed to be a referee at professional level. It's genuinely offensive to football. But I think with a lot of football league refs, a lot of football league refs are utter shite. I mean, probably could. Stevie Wonder might be able to do a better job. But yeah, like, honestly, when you get a good ref in the Football League, it's like winning the lottery. I really think it's telling that a lot of the better refs I see in the EFL just happen to be female. Maybe there's a thing we should learn from that. Like, Abby Byrne is fucking incredible. Abby Byrne is an exceptional referee. She won't get a Premier League run out, but she should. But otherwise, trained professional ref, you sometimes can't get simple shit right, like no offside position, for example, for an Orient goal last season in the playoffs, most offside goal last season. Yeah, I do think a lot of the problem with it is that referees are being trained more and more to rely on technology that doesn't work. Like, I'm sorry, but VAR doesn't work as often as refs are led to believe it does. Number of VAR decisions I see which are absolute bollocks. But also, a lot of refs in the EFL just aren't fit enough to keep up with the game, and that's another issue. They are not fit enough to keep up with the game. Well, yeah, it is true that people running VAR are incompetent, but like, I forget which game it was I was watching recently. It was an EFL game, and the referee was so unfit that after about 20 minutes of the game, he was sucking in so much air I was worried about the health of the crowd because they might get deprived of oxygen. I was worried players would drop dead. This fellow was dying after about 20 minutes. Why? Why are you refereeing? You think your dog would get more right decisions than half the VAR officials? To be fair, I don't understand why VAR decisions are made by people. I'm just saying, we have the technology to feed that image into an AI to make the decision. Why are we using people? Why does the people make the decision? Like, yes, do you occasionally lose that sense of common sense? Yes, of course you do. But would you overall get more accurate decisions? Yeah, you would. 4.5 star potential. I mean, we'll work with it. Why not? Come and have a game, lad. Welcome to Wales, Jonathan McFarland Acosta. You're going to have to learn to play a right back. For now, you can go be a barista because you're already a Costa. Heyo. That was a terrible joke. I'm really sorry. That was poor. I can't even blame it being late. That was just poor. Omar Smith. Sure. Let's do that. Let's give you 60 quid a game. Evening, Mr. Root. How are you? As always, we'll show all the love for the... We shouldn't say this too loudly, but the unbelievably handsome Mr. Root. Do give him a follow if you're not already, because Some say he's the nicest man in the world. And when I say some, I mean me. And I'm right. So, do share some love. Go say hi to Mr. Root. Also, go and sub on the older YouTubes, because he's also a rather excellent YouTuber. Doing okay, chilling in a hotel room. Oh, a hotel. Look at you being all fancy. This isn't like a Valentine's Day splash out, is it, or something? Doing something all fancy and romantic. Work related. Oh, that's less fun. It's less fun. Are work paying for, like, room service and minibar, though? Because if they are, get on it, son. Get on it, you know? I shall have a lobster with steak tartare and foie gras and a bottle of your finest champagne. It's okay, it's a work trip, they'll pay for it. Cover the expenses, please. But if they ask, could the receipt just say I had some very expensive chips and some water? Not what a supplier we use to splash that bought you steak. Mate. That's the one. That's the game. Oh, we've won an award. January North Manager of the Month. Lovely. Our chairman, Mr. Jenkins, is happy. He doesn't look happy. He looks like he just farted, to be honest. But apparently he's happy. Director of Football, happy. Good. Team of the Month, Gil Kilman and Hughie Nyarko. Didn't win Player of the Month. That's fine. We can't win it all. Yet. Right. Dion Roberts. Do I care? No. Bye, bud. Thanks. Excellent. Right. Now we move on to beating Portsmouth. And we're going to push our way back up into fourth. We can start chasing down Mould. That's the plan. We're going to chase down Mould Alexandra. We're going to knock on their door. We're going to say, lads. I hate to break it to you, lads, but we're going to get promoted. We're not. We're 8 points off promotion with 8 games to play. It would be nothing short of miraculous if we were to pull off promotion this season. But I believe in miracles. So we're going to make that happen. Not like in real life, but in sports, I believe in miracles. For example, it was miraculous I didn't turn off the Super Bowl at half time. Because that game was shite. Like, I know I have to translate American football into, like, football terms for Liam. But to really simplify it, by half time in the Super Bowl, it was like watching a 0-0 draw in which neither team had bothered to have a shot on target and no one had managed to successfully pass to their own team. And then the second half was basically like prime Brazil showed up against a Sunday League team and then left 10 minutes before the end and the other team just kind of saw it out. Like it was, why do I need to send him on an intensive English language? The guy's called Omar Smith and he's American. Why doesn't he speak? I mean, I get why he doesn't speak English, but that can't be FM trolling. What's happening here? What's happening with this fella? Nationalities, fluent Spanish, basic English. He's from Macon, Georgia. He's called Omar Smith. A, I have questions about why he speaks fluent Spanish. B, question about why he only speaks basic English. And 3, should he not speak Arabic or some shit if he's called Omar Smith? How has that happened? FM26 is fucked, man. he didn't get a work, but none of these players have got work permits, but they're not going to play anyway, so it's fine. Or they're not going to get paid because they're not going to play. But we'll train them up. We'll see if they get into a Yank squad, and then we'll go from there. But I am curious about the case of Omar Smith, the non-English speaking American. That feels like that's broken. Emmanuel Acosta also doesn't speak English. Again, if he speaks Spanish, he's called Emmanuel Acosta. I can kind of give that one a pass. Like, clearly, his family didn't let him leave as a child. They spoke Spanish in the home. I get how Emmanuel Acosta speaks only Spanish. I assume he speaks only Spanish. But again, he's from Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is very rural. It's very redneck USA. There's no way he shouldn't speak fluent English, so I don't understand. Jonathan McFarland, I swear to God, if Jonathan McFarland doesn't speak fluent English, something's broken. Lino Enger, I sort of understand, doesn't sound like a most American name in the world, but I'm sending Americans to learn English. Well, that's objectively hilarious. Alright, Jonathan McFarland does speak the language, that's okay. Jonathan McFarland has clearly paid attention at school, fluent in Spanish and English, so that's okay. That's perfect. Doesn't have a work permit, but that's alright because he's going to get in the squad for the national team. Right, Lino Enger speaks English. Presumably he's got some kind of Dutch, German, second nationality. He does, he's German. Samne's a German. It's okay. I'm not losing my marbles. That was perfectly normal. Stop trying to sign Kamar Everton for fuck's sake. I'd love it if we could all stop trying to sign my players. Elliot given free transfer, but then who will ET ask to phone home? Where were you playing? West Ham. You've been playing for Portmaddock. Do you know what? We might give you a chance because you've played for West Ham, which means you're probably alright. I mean, I say played for West Ham. Let's not oversell it. He's got a 6.8 and they've released him on a free transfer. Alright. Bizarre choice, especially because, and this is true, we're a better team, so he should be a better player for us. He's signed for, we're playing his old club right away and he's just signed for it. What a lad. What a lad. Let's get him out on the field for some trolling. Jamie Elliott, by the laws of football, should immediately score against his old team, right? By the laws of football. Edwards' contract mutually terminated. Do I have to sign another Portmaddock player? Is that what's going to happen here? Why is the window just shut on me? Why has that happened? That was sudden. You've left Taffs well, have you? Former Newport County player. You look right okay, you do. So have a look then, la. Welcome. Box to box, I don't think you will, but I think you'll try. 150, 150, I'd pay you 150 to sit on the bench for that level of ability, la. So how about you have an international bonus, an assist bonus, a goal bonus? I'm just going to chuck money at you. Make you the highest paid player at this club, because I think you look decent. Any other bonuses? An award bonus, a competition? I can't give you any more bonuses, I'm afraid, lad. You'll have to take it. There you go, Adam. Lovely time. Lovely time being out by everyone there. Right. Portmaddock now are going to be our victims. They are 4 points behind us. Let's see if we can get ourselves back in contention for promotion. I don't think we will. I'd be very surprised if we pulled off any kind of promotion-looking thing. Oh, look at those player relationships are just filthy. No one likes Eugene Yarko. Are you something who can talk about politics and the files? Charlie, I can talk about politics. I can't really talk about the files because I've not finished reading them. But I'm aware they exist. Has he gone into our reserves? Bloody hell, I was like, where's he gone? Where is that boy all gone? He's gone onto the reserves, right. Where are you, Mr. Elliot? Billy Elliot, could you please get into my squad, please? Billy Elliot? Billy Elliot, where are you? Where are you, pal? Why can't I fucking see you? I'm gonna reorder the friggin' squad again, haven't I? Just so I can find the players I'm looking for. Right. Billy, why are you unavailable? Have you played for the reserves? No. In fact, are you better at being that than Everton? We're going to do it. I'm just going to break up our rhythm a touch, but we're going to put this guy against his old club. Am I surprised by Nigel Farage being them? No. If you put a gun to my head and asked me to name 10 people I thought would be in the files, he would have been about number 4 I'd have named. For those wondering, the first 3 would have been Donald Trump, Piers Morgan, and Elon Musk. And number 5 would be Tommy Robinson. And I bet I'm 5 for 5. I would have put Peter Mandelson on the list. He would have been in my top 10. Obviously, Prince Andrew was a given. I'd be reasonably surprised if Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't mentioned. And then beyond that, who cares? Even Stephen Hawking's in them. I mean, he went to Cambridge. It's not a huge surprise. Boris Johnson must be in them. Just a shot in the dark, but I'd imagine Boris Johnson got named. And I bet Prince Andrew wasn't the only member of the royal family. Adam Johnson, though. Adam Johnson didn't get named in the Epstein files. Behave. Oh, Eugene Yarko steals a goal from Bayliss. What a goal. That's right, we're doing it. We're doing it now. We are on the hunt for promotion back. I say back. Promotion to the Welsh Premier. We're on track now. We're good. We're gonna get this one out of the way against Portmadoc, and then it's all full steam ahead to the Welsh Premier League. Over the top, Eugene Yarko's through, and Eugene Yarko makes it too, because that's what he'd do. Look at me rhyming. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Now we'll just blow it. It's a great first touch by Nyarko. Great first touch. Great finish. What a boy. Absolute lethal weapon of a human being. Absolute weapon of a human being. Let's see if we can make it through three. Big Pip is ready to set up something big starting. Henshaw to Kilman. Forward for Bayliss. For Penn. Penn finds Nyarko. Almost gives it away to discount Lallana. Widowson down the far side. He's going to look for a cross. Finds a cross. Bayliss is there. Carl Bayliss makes it 3. And all aboard the HMS Pistol League, setting sail for the final 8 games of the season, which we're going to win all of. Close the gap, get ourselves promoted. Bish bash bosh, we are going up. That's what I'm going to say. Disappointed that Elliot hasn't scored yet, but if we get a penalty, he is going to take it. Just because I think it would be funny if he scores against his old club, who let him go, despite the fact he's been really good for them. Like, yeah, he's had a cheeky booking. He's given a couple of lads a kick, but he's just saying hello. Henschel over the top. Nyarko is through. This is the hat-trick. It's not the hat-trick. It was nearly the hat-trick, but it wasn't the hat-trick. Can't help feeling he is going to get a hat-trick, though. It just feels like a Nyarko hat-trick kind of. Perfect. What a lovely name. Perfect. Lauri Matondo. That's not a real name. Behave. They've got a lot of double-barreled names. Clearly, these are the posh kids. I've seen at least 3, 4. I've seen 4. 4 posh kids playing for them. Widowson to Penn. To Kilman. Kilman through for Eugene Nyarko. And that's the hat-trick. Eugene Nyarko. First half hat-trick for the big boy. And this is over before half-time. Portmadoc couldn't handle the smoke. Couldn't come for the fire. We are looking good. League table, we're still 4th, but we're only 5 points off of the promotion spots now. I think they've got a game in hand over us. Let's not get too excited. I think there's probably games in hand for Bala and Mould. So let's not count chickens. But if we were going to count chickens, there would be lots of them. Oh, McLaughlin picks up the ball from kickoff. Straight interception from the kickoff. That's how you know domination is being dominated. Do I want to make any changes? Not really. Do I want to... if I do make changes, it's going to be for fitness at this point. There's no point replacing anybody. It's 4-0. The game's over. Widowson's just made a howler of a mistake, but Henshaw will tidy it up for him a little bit. Nearly. We're looking okay. We're looking good. It is just waiting for time to tick away. Elliot is actually ironically playing badly on his return to Portmadoc, but I'm still not going to take him off. There's no point. There's no point taking him off at all. And like I said, if we get a penalty, he'll take it, just because it would be silly not to let him get a goal against his old club, just to rub it in. Bayliss beats his man twice. He's beaten Jon Snow twice. Elliot, ball through for Nyarko to Penn. Penn back through for Nyarko, and that is number 4 for Eugene Nyarko. I'm not saying the Draconians may be overly draconian here, but that was a beautiful move that ended in a beautiful goal for Eugene Nyarko, who frankly is making this league look easy. 4 goals in 1 game. He's got to be top scorer in the league, which honestly means I'm letting him down, but he's got to be top scorer in the league. If he's not, I've really messed this up for him. Right, let's do some late subs just to keep legs fresh, because there's no point letting anyone get run into the ground. We'll send in Kendrick Lamar. Henshaw can come off for Brannigan. Elliott, no, you're staying on. I remember you're staying on. Bayliss can come off. We'll send in Olajide, because it's open season out there right now, to be honest. It is open season. And I'll hold back the last 2 subs for now. Realistically, Nyarko's going to come off right at the end for his little clappy clap celebration of awesomeness, but don't get sent off, Elliott. For Christ's sake, Brannigan went in there. I was like, Elliott's going to go in 2-footed in the box, give away a penalty and a red. Lallana being trapped by Penn to Lowry Matondo, who's into the box, doesn't score, can't score. Pip Akunu has said no, and Pip Akunu means no. When he says no, no means no. Right, let's take off Eugene Nyarko. He's had a wonderful day. In fact, whilst this move is building, we're going to stick Olajide up top, and then we'll send in McJanet for Nyarko. Because we bought Olajide to play up top, ironically, not to play on the wing, but he has played on the wing both of his appearances. He's almost scored right away. McJanet's going on. And I guess I should make a sub, really, but let's send in Everton. Oh, we can't send it. Oh, we can't make any more substitutions. We ran out of time. It doesn't matter. We've won the game. We are 5-0 winners against Portmadog. And they said it couldn't be done. And they were wrong. We are going to chase the title. We're going to chase the title like a dog chasing a car. But unlike the dog chasing the car, we're going to actually catch the car. This is such a mixed metaphor. I'm really sorry. I'm very tired. I don't know if it shows, but I'm quite tired. I can't believe we're only 2 hours into the stream. Mad. Mad. Right, Elliott gets one over on Portmadog. Yeah, he did. Nyarko did Nyarko things. Is he top scorer, do we think? I'm not going to ask for a new contract. That's tacky. We've just beaten a mid-table side 5-0. It's not celebration time. Is he the top scorer in the Cymru North, though? That's the question. Most assists, but not most goals for Eugene Nyarko, apparently. Attacking goals. Oh, he's 3rd. He's had 15. Doing right, to be fair. I'm sure it will all be good. Right, how long till our next game? 8 whole days. 8 whole days. Denby Town could end up above us by the time we play the next game, to be honest. But it'll be Gilesfield, who can't go above us. So we're making short work of this. It'll be fine. Also, Bangor haven't lost a game yet. 23 played, 15 won, 8 drawn. They are uncatchable at this stage. Let's get through to that game, shall we? And I'm going to go find a drink. I'll be back in 2 secs. Oh wow, are we not at the game yet? God! We've just signed Edwards, so that's nice. Anyway, chat, how are we doing out there? How is everyone? Everyone feeling good? Everyone had a nice dinner? Let's pass some time, shall we? Hope everyone is doing well out there. No one's fallen asleep at their keyboards. All that good stuff that happens, you know, in a world where things have gone wrong. Gotta check these things. Oh, size in a January window as well. Random. How entirely random. Size in a January window. Actually, I guess technically we're not in a January window anymore. But that's life, you know. Don't know who else is out there. Oh, there's some people out here I've never heard of. Oh, Doom's live. That's nice. I'm not looking to raid out, don't panic. I was just looking at who was out, who was on. Hi Dylan, welcome. Welcome to the chat. We're having a good time here in Wales. Welcome to Wales. Welcome to Wales. Yeah, we're doing alright. We're on a good run. I think we've won every game this stream. We lost a game this stream. I don't think we have. I don't think we have. Creso, indeed. Indeed. Creso e Cymru. Actually haven't lost a game this stream. 4 from 4. Let's ruin that now I've called attention to it. Let's completely ruin that, shall we? I do want to sort of see about getting another defender on our bench, because I feel like we've probably got too many wingers now. Dyche probably doesn't need to be there. We'll stick Parsons on the bench. Elliott looked alright on his debut. I think this team's slowly getting stronger and stronger every time. Edwards was the other lad I just signed, wasn't he? Adam Edwards. Oof, I think you should be on our bench too, Adam. If I'm quite honest, you should probably be on our bench. Maybe in place of Parsons, to be honest. It's not going to make him happy. He's asking for more football. But we'll get over it. Top of League 2 currently. Nice. Yeah, this is not like me at all. Usually I'm swearing right now. So saving the 4th tier. Very nice. Go back to back promotion. Spent 2 seasons in League 2. Incredible. And we started this save in Greece. We've now done all of the British nations. Not Northern Ireland, but that's not a British nation. You know, fun. And we've been to Tahiti, so everyone be globetrotting. Everyone be globetrotting today. 3rd season League Dirt, looking like getting promoted. Beautiful. It's what we love a promotion year. We're trying to get a promotion. We are trying. If I can, I sort of don't want to end the stream until the end of the season. Whether or not we achieve that is different matter, because there's like 7 games left. But you know how we all have that like FM fear of like when you're on a run of form, if you save and quit the game, you'll load it up and your form's dead. The form we're currently on, would get us into the promotion playoff, I think. Like, if we can win every game between now and the end of the season, we get into the promotion playoff. We won't win the league. That's gone, because Bangor haven't been beaten this season. But promotion playoff is certainly achievable. Like, 2nd place is achievable. It's like 5 points away. McLaughlin through for Nyarko, and Eugene Nyarko. How has he missed that? 14 points ahead of 3rd. Top 2 get automatically voted. There's 6 games left. Oh, I reckon you've done that, mate. We are 8 points behind Bala. 8 points. But hang on. Can we just have a moment of appreciation, chat, for what is magically happening here? You know how I've said the words, Bangor haven't lost a game all season. Remember how we had that chat, Bangor hadn't lost a game all season? This is a live table. Bangor are currently losing You've been promoted. Beautiful. Your current Bangor are currently losing for the first time this season. It is match day number 24 of 30. They are losing their first game of the season. And who is currently beating them? It's Triada Bay in 15th. Triada Bay in 15th are currently beating Bangor. Bangor saving 24. Nice. Budget of 3.25 million. 80k spare in wages. Is that per year or per week? Because I tend to work on per year, but most people go per week, and I don't understand it. Per week. That's 4 million a year. 4 million a year? My entire wage budget isn't 80k a year. It's ridiculous. Now, naturally, we will end up at a club eventually where I can spend 4 million a year. It's not going to be in Wales unless something goes incredibly well for us. Triada Bay are still winning that. It's Mould I want to lose. I need to see Mould lose this game. That would help us out. Won the league spending 2.99 million a year. Second lowest in the league. Ironically, if they gave me 2.99 million to spend a year in this league, I'd be promoted by now. Not happy with your performance. Got better, boys. Come on. You've just won 5-0 last game. How about we don't piss about and we do the same? It's just a thought, but if we could just not piss about, second in the league would be entirely achievable. Because I feel like Bala must have lost their last game. Right, here we go. Widowson with a cross. Nyarko is nowhere near it. Singh heard it. See, he was listening. Henshaw, forward. Let's get it forward. Summer skill. Over the top. Elliott's had 2 bookings in 2 games. Good lad. Widowson to Penn. To McLaughlin. Through ball for Eugene Nyarko. Eugene Nyarko does Eugene Nyarko things. Yes, he was on a 6.3 up until that point, but it doesn't matter because he scored. Now he's figured out where in Garsfield the net is, and now he knows he's just going to keep stuffing it. Basically like Stevie Wonder finding a Christmas turkey. Now he's found it, he's going to keep stuffing it. That was a mental image, wasn't it? Kilman into the box. Elliott can't get there. Nyarko can. Oh, he's had a go. He had a go from outside the box. Had a go. Didn't achieve it, but he believed it. Right, Akunu to Cole. Cole to Widowson. Widowson forward for McLaughlin to Widowson again. And he's going to go hopefully over the top here because he's going to run into trouble. Plays a through ball to Penn. Penn's stopped it at the byline. Tries to beat his man. Widowson has a shot. Kind of hits Kilman in the head and goes wide. Let's make subs. Let's do that. Right. Kilman, mate, you're booked and you're not having the best game of your life. Let's be honest. We'll take Henshaw off. We'll stick Everton in midfield. I'm going to take Elliott off just to stop him getting booked. We'll have a look at Edwards. Bayliss can come off for Olachide. And then I think we'll take off McLaughlin because he's tired. And we'll send Whittaker. Hardy Whittaker, man of a million stepovers. They never seem to produce anything, but he likes to do them. So, you know, we'll let it go. We are now 6 points behind Bala. With 6 to play, I believe. So we are actually on par to make it happen. We are on par. We should knock 1 point off them per game and we'll finish above them. Whittaker to Widowson. Back to Whittaker. To Penn. To Eugene Nyarko. That's goal number 2 for the big boy. He's going to get another hat-trick. He's going to get another hat-trick. Back-to-back hat-tricks. And then we'll see in the next game if he can make it a hat-trick of hat-tricks, which, pretty good. I mean, this is still 6 goals in 2 games. But it doesn't count until he makes a hat-trick. So we're going to go for the hat-trick of hat-tricks from Eugene Niarko. Obviously, if we get a pen, I'll make sure he's taking it. I'm not going to make him work harder than he needs to. But let's see if he can get that hat-trick of hat-tricks. The magic to come. But 2-0 will do. Like we're not going to get greedy. 2-0 will be just fine. But if we can get a Eugene Niarko hat-trick of hat-tricks, we'll do it. Because that would be amazing. Come on, cross him. Jesus, how have you let Alfie Perry score that? That's Katy Perry's cousin. It probably isn't. If it is, that'd be hilarious, but it probably isn't. Largely because that's not her real name. I know I've just broken some people's hearts, but that's not actually her real name. Good times. Anyway, there we go. Could we get to the next? I forgot about the autosave. My word. The autosave. It's happening 11th of February. Could we back to the home screen? There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Niarko shines again. Is he top scorer in the league yet, though? That's the question. Is he top scorer? Because we have got to play you at some stage, I'd imagine. We don't actually. We've played all our games against Bala. We have played all our games against Bala. We do have to play... No, we don't have to play Mould. Ooh. We might just be chasing them down without having to play them. We have also got a cup semi-final coming up. Semi-final. Right, okay. We've got a week till the next game. So, anyone heard any good jokes lately as the conversation for chat? Since no one wanted to talk about food. Any good jokes lately? Anyone have anything else fun to report from their saves? Does anyone know where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Is anyone old enough to understand that reference? Probably not. Because Ruth in Town will be a lovely game to win. We do need to build some goal difference. I've got a feeling this one might come down to goal difference. We are 8 behind Bala on goal difference. Also, Triada Bay did manage to bring that win home. The unbeaten record has been tarnished. I don't think we're going to see Bangor collapse from here on out and bottle promotion, but they are only 4 points clear now. Do I know the difference between a letterbox and an emu? Try me. I know this is going to be good because Simon's always got good gags. If not, avoid working for the post office receivers. It's pretty good. I'm going to give that an A-. That's pretty good. That's pretty strong. That is strong work. We're okay with that. We'll allow it. Just realise we've got to play Garsfield in the League Cup at a neutral ground. Do we think it's going to be like a proper big Welsh ground for the League 2 League Cup semi-final? Eugene Crosspunt, never heard of it. No idea. Who owns Eugene Cross Park? It's not us. Achieve more training stadium. Wow. I could have just Googled it. I don't care enough, but I could have just Googled it. It would have been faster. On a mountain to avoid the flooding, possibly. It's true. It's true. It literally couldn't matter less where this ground is, but for some reason I still feel like I have to find out. We've had some wild games. I am none the wiser. I've looked at every ground we've played at this season. It's not one of those. Derry given free transfer. Oh, I thought it was Sean Derry. I'll have Sean Derry. From Braintree? Are you silly? Formerly of West Brom? He's probably alright. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Toby Derry. Vincent hints at possible coal deal. Want to wind your fucking neck in, son. Always open for business. How dare you, Dave? Just your cheeky little smile and here's you can get Sky Sports on. Don't mean you get to try and sell our best players. Right. I think we're going to put Everton back in midfield for this one. Because I like these little lines. They make me happy. Let's go do it. Let's go continue our run of victories until the end of the season. Fingers crossed. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep up our run of victories. Some say we've been flawless. Absolutely flawless. We're doing well. We're on a good run. So let's keep that going, shall we? Okay, good. Let's do that. I'm going to set expectations. Pick up where you left off, Eugene. Get more goals. More goals is a thing I demand. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go beat Ruthin. Recep Shalik is playing for them. They've got a fancy foreign sounding, Turkish sounding midfielder. They've got a guy who sounds German too. That's fancy. Got all these fancy footballers playing against us. We have also got the Friday night game though, so... Oh, Triada Bay are beating Mould. They've just beaten Bangor and now they're beating Mould. They're coming up well handy for us. They're doing us lots of favours. I know they're just trying to stay up, but they're doing us some favours. The team we could have managed are doing us a favour. Or 10. I don't know what's got into them. Something's got into their shredded wheats. But they are doing us favours all over the shop. We're not really helping ourselves out either, which is troubling. But we are being assisted. Penn with a big ball over the top. Eugene's through. Can't score. Conyard looks like he's a decent keeper. We'll say he's having a really good game for them from what we've seen. But we do have to get goals. Bangor are smashing Garlesfield. They've not taken that loss well. They've not taken that loss well. They're a bit angry. But again, we haven't got to play them for the rest of the season, so it makes no actual difference to us. How have you missed that? Our keeper was nowhere near where he should have been. Pipakunu was nowhere near where he should have been there. Widowson and Summerskill are having a very bad day. Bayliss, McLaughlin and Niarco all having a bad time out there. McLaughlin lays off to Bayliss. Niarco over the goal again. The magic has left him. He's going to bottle this this goal-scoring run. I thought signing a fella to challenge him would light a bit of a fire under him. And it sort of did, but I'll tell you, they've not been good enough. You seem down. Widowson, buddy. You're on a 6.4, mate. You don't get to be down because I tell you you've not been good enough. There you go. Now get into this game. Let's do it. Widowson. Forward for McLaughlin. Out wide. Bayliss. Look for Eugene. Went alone. Missed. If you could score, that'd be cracking, bud. Just saying. I would be in favour of us scoring goals. There we go. Out wide for Bayliss again. Through ball for Penn to McLaughlin. Oh, it's close. We've won a corner. We're okay. This is where we pull it off. This is where we make the magic happen. This is where we make it happen. Encourage the boys. Right. Cole. Summer skill. Over the top. Route 1. Love it. Everton. Henshaw. To Bayliss. Kilman. Bayliss. Bayliss misses. I say misses. He puts it in the keeper's hand. It's not our finest moment. There are going to be changes made. We've given him a free kick. Oh, fuck's sake. I was just about to take him off. I was literally just about to take him off and he's got sent off. That was literally the least helpful thing he could have done then. Cannot imagine a less helpful thing he could have done. Let's take Cole off. I think it's going to be Brannigan. I want to send on a player who's looking aggressive straight after a red. That sends the wrong message. Okay. It's fine. I really don't want us to lose because we've got a stupid red card. They've got their fancy Turkish boy taking it. Oh my word, just get it clear. Oh. Alright, I didn't want to take a draw here, I'll be honest. I do want us to win this game, but it seems unlikely with 10. Oh no, we've got into the... Oh, my word. My word. I don't know what the next throw of the dice is. Whittaker's somehow getting shut out. So let's just go very attacking. We're just going to chuck everything at them. It feels like the right thing to do. Just chuck everything at them. We've got pretty much nothing to lose, bar the game. But let's just chuck everything at them. Jesus Christ. That was poor. That was poor. Right, Jamie Elliott's going in. That's my decision. Jamie Elliott goes into midfield. Lamar. Poor ball. Really, how are you the best player on our team today? Playing a ball that poor. That's it, winners. Good work. Olajide, Penn, through ball for Whittaker. Haji Whittaker. 1-1. 1-1 for the boys. They're not lying. Apparently that's Haji Whittaker's first goal for us, which is crazy, because I swear he's done something for us. The only reason I've kept him on the bench is because in my head he did something for us in a previous stream. If I'm wrong, then that's wild, but not unexpected, but wild. But the fact that in my head he's been really good coming off the bench for us, and he actually hasn't until right now. Lamar, right, forward for Whittaker. Turn your man. After Burners on, son. Come on. Penn. Back to Whittaker. He's having a think. Cross goes over. Bayliss is there. Elliott is there. Oh, how has he missed that? How has he missed that? Let's encourage the boys. Conyard's taking his time. Don't know why. You've still got more players than us, mate. This shouldn't really be a stress for you. That's got to be offside. Surely. Surely that's offside. He was miles off. He was miles off. He was in a different country. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's alright, we're going to do it again. We're going to get another goal. Get another equaliser, boys. Another equaliser would do us lovely here. Is it ideal? No, a winner would be ideal. We've got to get an equaliser first, and we're not really doing that. So let's demand more. Someone's got to be able to pull this off. Surely. Surely. Come on. Triada did do us a favour, but we couldn't do anything with it. And now we stay 6 points behind. They're going to have... Someone's going to have a game in hand. Bala have got a game in hand. It's going to be tough. I can't believe we finally lost a game. Finally lost a game. It was a nice run while it lasted, but for us to lose our chance at promotion like that would be heartbreaking. Triada Bay have almost clawed their way out of relegation as well, which is amazing. That's amazing work. They were to stay up. They have to send Airbus down, and they're one of the biggest teams in the division, which is a bit wild. We've got to confirm a transfer. Toby Derry, welcome to your trial. Summer skill band, yep. Good. 6 games unbeaten. Down the flusher. Oh, hang on, we've got a couple of weeks without a game here. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's try and keep the boys fit, shall we? Nearby teams, Pontymister. We'll play Pontymister, they'll do. And the following Saturday, we'll play the other team called Coedeva. And then presumably the 19th is also a bit of a dead rubber. Oh, it's fine. That will tie us over. That will tie us over. That will keep our fitness levels up. Toby Derry. Potentially Cymru Premier standard. Needs to be taught how to be an effective aerial presence, susceptible to injuries, must be more consistent if he to stand a chance of making it, yeah. Okay. Well, Toby, you're here for a little while. You've got some checks. Let's see this one through. See if we can get over the line using a bit of old-fashioned cheese to keep our players fully fit. Sort of the plan. Because if we can keep the lads fully fit, we might be able to pull this one off. We hope. We hope. We hope. We hope. Let's off to work we goes. With a shovel and a pick and a walking stick, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Got Denby next. Lovely, they're right behind us. That could be helpful. What time have we got on the old clocky do? It's nearly 11:30. Well, back in 2 secs, and I think while we're waiting for this to do its thing, we might play some Scrandle. Oh, she do be ticking through. Okay, good. Right. So, let me find a lovely window to play some Scrandle in. Bobbity bop bop bop. Just while that ticks through, welcome to Scrandle. You know how this works. You've all played Scrandle before. If you haven't, we're going to get 2 pictures of food. We're going to decide which food looks like the best food, and then we'll vote on the food, and then the food will be the thing. You tell me in chat which food you want, left or right, and then Scrandle. You know how this goes. Scrandalicious, we're going to start off with Birmingham City's shitty cheesy chips, or Norwich City's diarrhea-inducing looking hot dog covered in fresh dirt, served on a tray of litter. It's a very difficult choice. Do we think bad cheesy chips with no beer or death-inducing hot dog from Norwich is the correct way to vote? Anyone got thoughts? Simon says rightish. Rightish. It's a tough choice because they both look like arse. They both look awful. Anyone else want to pitch in with some answers? Anyone else out there in chat? We'll go right. Why not? More people said left. Some people are wrong. Okay. Apple crumble with custard. £3.50 from Stoke City. It's a lot of custard. We can't see the quality of the crumble. Or a rib meat roll from West Ham, which honestly could be great or it could be awful. It kind of depends on the sauce. Simon's saying left. You can't go wrong with a crumble. Apparently you can, right. A crab's nail from Bragantino de Ojoa, Bragança Para in Brazil. A wheat flour dough filled with crab meat and a crab claw, because of course. Or truita de patata with a water from Arte de Español in Barcelona. Truita de patata is essentially something on bread. I'm guessing something potatoey. Simon's saying right, I'd go right too. And we've won. We've finally got a green dot. Okay. Sausage and chips, £8 from West Ham. Or Consadole Sapporo, takoyaki, fried balls of octopus with a pint for a £5. Well, the pint is worth a £5. The sausage doesn't look undercooked. The salt's been done badly. It's badly salted. There's no need for that much red sauce. You're not 6. Unless you are 6. But if you're not 6, that's too much red sauce. But also the beer. But the octopus. That's it. I think I was thinking, right, but I'd give the food away. Or just tell them to keep it. Feed it to a homeless. I don't know, but... Right, hockey arena. So we're not really doing right. A tray of fries, but let's be fair, that's like 4 fries. £4.52 for a handful of chips. Or a baseball game, a tiny pizza for £7.45. That is terrible and terrible, but sometimes that be how Scrandle goes. So, are we paying almost a £5 for a handful of chips, or are we paying £7.50 for what is realistically one slice of pizza? I feel like pizza always wins. But also the handful of chips is offending me. Like, the thing with the pizza is it's been cut badly as well, and the toppings aren't properly distributed. I think we'll guess pizza. It wins by far too many percent. Right, alright, we're back in food. Leeds doing chicken and chips, beautifully garnished. Or the CBS Arena, a Miami veggie burger. CBS Arena at Coventry? Yeah, it is, isn't it? So, Coventry, a Miami veggie burger with wedges, £7.60. Looks a bit suspect down there, I'll be honest, but it's a veggie burger with wedges. Simon's saying right. Okay, we'll go with Simon. Chicken has smashed it. Alright, cheeseburger, added sausage and bacon, £5.90 at Dartford. That's dirty, it's beautiful. Double cheeseburger from Stalybridge Celtic. Looks like it's spray-on cheese. The chicken did look pretty good. Doom, welcome. You're just in time for some Scrandle decision making. Are you saying left or right, Mr. Doom? Are you still streaming, and/or how was your stream? It says you're still streaming. In fact, it looks like you've got a blanket over your head, which is perhaps a little bit wrong. Left because of the fake cheese. That's fair. That's valid. We'll go with that. How? What's wrong with these people? They're not right. Alright, pizza, Liverpool, £6.50. That's a full-size pizza. Loaded popcorn chicken with a pint of Moretti for £11 at Spurs. Honestly, my instinct is that Spurs can get fucked. But maybe some people think that's worth it. I think left. I think left's the only answer here. Something's gone awfully wrong. Alright, bangers and mash. What the fuck is that? So Tranmere Rovers have served this not just to humans, but in fact in their hospitality area. You can tell because they've got a team sheet. And it's some anemic looking sausages with bugger all mash swimming in oil. Or 2 cans of beer at the Seattle Mariners, which isn't football, for £28. So, we can get undoubted diarrhea, or not the best beer you've ever had for too much money. Apparently that's with gravy. We've got northerners around, that's not fucking gravy, behave yourself. Call yourself Scousers at Tranmere, you're calling this piss gravy. In fact, it could be piss. It could be piss. There is a possibility that's just been pissed on and they've called it gravy. The beer does look more like gravy. But we're going to say £28 for beer is better than diarrhea. I think that's probably right. And we were right. Alright, chicken tikka masala, £9 actually looks good at Tottenham as well. So they've not overcharged for it for a change. Or a katsu chicken curry for £5.5 at the Super Cup final in Japan at, I believe, Yokohama. It's a tough one because the tikka looks pretty good. Not sure about this plasticky looking bread construction they've gone with, but it's alright. But also the katsu looks pretty fucking special. It is a tough one. We're going right? I'd say right. Everyone says right. We're going right. Well, we got 5.5. They're disappointed in our scrambling skills, but that's okay because it is what it is, right? We're back for another game. I feel like we're coming to the end of the matches today. I think we might get to the League Cup semi-final, and then we can wrap up the stream with a final if we get there. It feels... Sorry, we'll wrap up the stream with the semi-final, and then next stream we can have the final, is sort of my thinking. Let's see how that goes. Denby Town are up next. Summerskill is broken. So let's try out one of our new signings, shall we? I don't want to try out Adam Edwards. I quite like him. How the piss have we got 15 subs? How do we suddenly have 15 subs? So we were right, everyone else was wrong. How do we suddenly now have 15 substitutes? We have never had 15 substitutes. Have I broken FM? No, we're back down to 7. Excellent. Alright. I actually kind of want to play Rios. I do kind of want to have a look at Rios. I've got a wingers. Olajide over Nyarko is a choice by our assistant manager there, and it's certainly a choice. Brannigan can go on the bench. And then I'll want probably another centre mid, who is going to be Dyche Edwards. That looks reasonably solid as a lineup. Let's see how good Rios is. He might be good, he might be bad. We'll find out. 4, cat number 3, mate. 4 was taken long before you ever walked in. Alright, see how good this Rios fella is. He's got a fancy foreign name, so I know he's at least not awful. And then yeah, we'll get the old semi out of the way. And then we'll have a final next, well, tomorrow. Tomorrow on stream we'll have a final. Right, I want to be impressed. Go impress me. Go do things that make me proud. I don't know, cure cancer or some shit. Whatever you need to do. Right, they've got some no foreign players. They're all good. They're all good. They're all gravy. Right, let's get it done. Let's get this done. We're going to have the biggest win of our day today. We're going to beat the 5-0. That's what I'm feeling. We've got to beat Denby. Quite handily, to be honest. Just to get the old confidence back up. Really is what it comes down to. We just want to get the confidence back. Kavanagh. Going for a run. Brailsford. Kavanagh. Brailsford. Brailsford scores. The fuck, boys. We're less than 2 minutes into the game. That's unacceptable. How have you let me down that badly? Who am I blaming? That was Cole. That was Cole, did that? Unimpressive, mate. Unimpressive. Let's not do that again, alright? Let's... I get we want to have a bit of a... Oh, Mulder playing Bangor. Oh, hello. That could be tasty. It's not going to help us, though, because we're currently in 5th. We need to beat Denby really badly. Let's do this. Let's demand more. I don't know who's bottled this one, to be honest. Nyarko's actually not playing well at all. Feeling a bit like a spare prick in an orgy at this point. There's nothing I can really do. Fire the boys up. Is anyone going to try and play football today? Like, we were actually in a winnable position to actually get into second until the boys just decided they couldn't be bothered anymore. That was a poor header. That was entirely... Why wouldn't you have headed that back to your goalkeeper, you clown? That was clown. All I've seen there is clown. You're coming off. Brannigan's going on. Because you're supposed to be our captain and you absolutely clowned us then. That's unacceptable. Like, you had choices to make and you made bad choices. Bad decisions were made there. McLaughlin and Nyarko might not be playing second half at this rate either. They've been really poor. Right, let's explain ourselves to the team. What was that, is my first question. McLaughlin, Bayliss, Nyarko, I'm not happy. Ashley, mate, you've come off because you were just awful. So, get it together. Let's go out there second half. Let's find some goals. I'm going to turn up the attacking because we've got to come from behind. We're fighting from right underneath now. Right, McLaughlin, you're in a position now to make something happen. You've got to do it. That was poor. You've given that away. This leads to a third goal. You're coming off. Right, we're back in it. McLaughlin's through. McLaughlin scores. We're back in the game. We're back in the game. It's not over yet. It's not over until it's over. That's how this works. It is not over until it is over. Right, encourage the boys. Nyarko's somehow got an assist on that as well. Right. We are going to make some more subs in a second, but not until we've seen this highlight out, because you never know, we could be on terms, and that'll totally change what decisions I have to make. Mercer, let's track the ball down. Nyarko, do you want to put a shift in, mate? I know you've got an assist, but do you want to put a shift in at any point? Fuck's sake. Alright. Subs time then. Widowson, get off. Lamar's going on. Mark Lamar is going on. Kilman, you've not really covered yourself in glory, so we'll send in Elliot. We're going to send in McJanet on the left wing. I'll hold back one sub, but I feel like Nyarko might actually come off. It might be WALESi going on up top. After all, great boys. Yeah, Nyarko's just dropping off. He's being propped up by that lucky assist. Let's send in WALESi. Let's see if he can make anything else happen for us. Because I feel like I need him to. This is poor. We had that nice run of form and they got beaten once and they've just given up on life. They've fully given up on life at this point. But McLaughlin through again. Cut it back. Oh, the Gide wins a corner. Let's score from this, and then we'll score again in a bit. How's that sound? Lamar, forward for Elliott. There we go. Great shot, but hits the crossbar. We're going to have another go. Rios forwards. Brannigan. Come on, you know how to cross. I've seen you do it. Poor. It was poor again. It was poor again. We've got a free kick. McLaughlin into the box. Back post doesn't find anyone. Everton is there. Everton to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a piss poor shot. He's probably being propped up in rating by having scored two, to be fair. It's not been a good game. This has not been a good game. We've basically given up on promotion now. Like, promotion's not even a possibility at this point. So poor. We're 10 points behind now with 4 to play. It will take a miracle. It will take a miracle for us to do anything from this. But we can still win the league to botsy bollocks. So, there is that. We do at least have a thing to potentially come back for next episode. But, like I said, next tomorrow. I've got to learn how to use the word tomorrow. That's going to take a miracle, though, isn't it, to get anything else beyond that. Right, let's... Rios makes professional. He won't play again. He was poor. He was poor. So, 1 week until the Tier 2 semi-final. I assume the final gets played at a real stadium. Like, not, you know, the Millennium, like, but I assume it gets played at, like, Newport or somewhere, you know? That'd be my assumption, that the final gets played at Newport. Just to make it feel a bit special. How are we doing for time? Are we nearly at midnight? Oh, we'll get this game done by midnight, I reckon. That's what I'm boldly going to say. See what else is happening out there in the world as we stroll through. Who are you? Someone is far too close to the camera. Lovely. Good times. Oh, I think I know where we're heading. Once we've played this game, I think I know where we're raiding to. But for now, we've got to focus on getting through the League Cup final against Garsfield. Then we've got to play a bunch of teams who are honestly all well below us, so there should be points on offer tomorrow. Possibly quite a lot of points tomorrow, to be honest. And I buy quite a lot of points, I mean many points. But not enough. Who have we got in the other semi-final? Trefelin Boys and Girls Club. Trefellin, lovely, from Trefellin of Boys and Girls Club. And then that other team is someone who's badge at Cambrian United. Cambrian United. It's going to be North versus South in the final. Alright. Derry trial finished. Were you any good, Toby? You weren't awful. Alright, we'll give you a contract. If you're a good boy and you impress me, you might get some football one day. Right, let's do a quick pick. A summer skill goes in, that's our first team. Wants me to start a G-Day up top again. Not sure I like that as a plan, but we'll see. Put Brannigan back into the bench. Nyarko, Janet. Let's swap that around because that's what's going to happen. We'll take Guy off for Haji Whittaker. Now I've convinced myself he's really a really good player. Rios off the bench for Edwards. I feel okay about that as a lineup. In fact, I'm going to take Janet off the bench. Stick in Dyche because I know he's slightly better. All round, I think that's a pretty good lineup. I think we're good to go. Let's get goals. Let's get to a fight. Ashley Henshaw's lacking match sharpness. They're all lacking match sharpness. Behave yourself. Let's do it. Let's hope the captain doesn't screw us over again in the semi-final. Let's hope Eugene Nyarko is feeling like playing today, shall we? Do it. Address the team. Put an end to this poor run of form. Go out there and enjoy yourself. Don't be daft. I'm expecting you to win us the game. Right. Don't know where this ground is. No idea. It's somewhere in Wales and it's big. Right. Gomenyuk to Daniels. Widowson could make attack. Oh, Daniels has died. Outstanding. They've ripped his shirt off and just gone, buddy, no. That's how badly that's gone. Encourage. Let's have a go. Let's have a go at scoring some goals, shall we? Let's have a cheeky go at scoring some goals. Cheeky go at winning the game. That'd be nice. Head this clear. We didn't. Came off the crossbar. It's gone out. It's all good. We're just warming up. We're just warming up, boys. Just maybe we could warm up after we score the first goal. That'd be nice. I mean, ideally, you'd have warmed up before the game, but if you're going to warm up during the game, I'd like you to score a goal first, then, you know, then you can warm up as much as you like, to be honest. This is poor. This is a poor game. Could we maybe encourage again? Could we get this ball back? Could we not get someone sent off this time as well? That'd be nice. Right, Nyarko for McLaughlin. Turns. Passes to Penn. Penn finds Kilman. Kilman through for Nyarko. Nyarko is through. Eugene Nyarko. He's put us in the final. He hasn't. It's offside. That was ambitious. It's offside. Could we maybe, just maybe, could we get a goal? That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Right. Half-time in the semi-final of the Tier 2 League Cup. I am far from pleased. I don't know why you keep trying to make me say I'm happy with what I'm watching. I'm not happy with what I'm watching. I am unhappy with what I'm watching. It's been poor. Get it together. Sort your lives out. Right, you guys, you could be better, but, you know, sort your lives out. And then you guys could also be better. Let's see someone do a big football. Kilman, Everton, summer skill. Someone, anyone, do a football. To be fair, both teams have been piss poor. Both teams have been awful. I feel sorry for like the 15 people who've come here to watch this game because they must be just miserable. It's raining, they're at a ground, no one knows where it is. They're just miserable. Baylis is through. Baylis could maybe cut it back. He does. Oh, Nyarko cannot finish the last few games. He cannot finish. He went from scoring 6 goals in 2 games to just the goals have dried up. Henshaw has been crap again as well. Right, someone score. Please. Anyone. I don't even care if it's Gilesfield at this point. Baylis has scored. There we go. There we go. We've decided to show up to do a football. And it is 1-0. Officially, it is 1-0. We are probably going to be in the final. Because, to be honest, this game looked like it was going to go on for days without someone scoring a goal that wasn't a penalty. So, I'd say reasonable chance that's us in the League Cup final. No European place on offer, of course. Right, Henshaw, you get off now before you get yourself sent off. Edwards on for summer skill because you're looking aggressive. McLaughlin off for Harji. That'll do us nicely. Nyarko, Olajide is taking your place again, son. It's got to be getting embarrassing for you, mate. If it's not, you're not caring enough about your football. Then Elliot goes on as well. That's the job done. Let's send those boys out to be the team that brings this bad boy home. Because, honestly, the players they've replaced were all piss poor. They were all being so poor. Like, the stats say we should be slapping them silly and we're not. Like, we're really not. Also, I really want this goalkeeper to do nothing at all in this game because I'm not saying his name out loud. Edwards to Penn to Whittaker. He's had a go again. He's had a go again. Hardy Whittaker loves a random shot. Let's praise them. I mean, they've done nothing worthy of praise, but they're ahead. So, you know, let's just keep them happy. Baylis to Edwards. Forwards, big ball, looking for Olajide, doesn't find him, but Kilman's there. Baylis gives the ball away. Just put it in your own net, mate, at that point. Kilman, out wide, go on, Baylis will have it, Baylis will have it, Baylis, that crossed the line, to be honest, but, you know, what do I know? Jones, to Chamberlain, to Pike. Basically got entire members of Dad's army out there. Right, let's get a goal. And let's go very attacking. I'd like a second goal, just so it looks better, to be honest. Kilman with a free kick into the box, doesn't find a teammate. Harji Whittaker will go back to Kilman, back to Harji. Harji has a pop. He didn't score all season until the last game, and now he's had 2. Jesus. Harji Whittaker has finally decided at the end of the season, do you know what, boss? I might pretend like I'm a footballer. I might just have a go. And he's had a go, and he scored. And we are in the final, barring a miracle. We are in the final of the League 2, or the second tier League Cup. Tier 2 League. We're in a final. We're in a cup final. Lads, we're in a cup final. Congratulations, you all dreamed of playing in the final. Yeah, when I was growing up as a kid, right? When I was a kid, I sat there in my bed at night, and I thought, one day I want to play in the Welsh Tier 2 League Cup final. Not the FA Cup final, not the World Cup final, the Tier 2 League Cup final. That was my dream. That was the one. We'll find out who we're playing as well, obviously, because it's a mystery until we find out. I'll have the autosave. We're going to get a result from the other game. Result from the other game would be nice. Let's see if we're playing a big team or a little team. I'd imagine it'll be a little team. We're playing Trefellyn Boys and Girls Club. Wowzers. From Trefellyn, of course. And The final's being played at Eugene Cross Park. It's a place I've never heard of. But we're in a final. We are in a final. How does that do for our goals for the season? That's what I'm curious about. Well, we had to be competitive. They're very pleased. They're delighted we avoided relegation. They've got to offer us a new contract. But if we win a trophy, people are going to come asking about us, aren't they? People are going to come knocking on our door. Especially because we've all dreamt of playing in this final, apparently. There we go. We've got 5 games left of our season. We are playing Airbus, Holywell, Penryn, Koch and Rill. Now, Rill are 8th. Airbus are 13th. Penryn, Koch are 15th. And whoever that last team were are somewhere in here. So, that's fine. I think we might be able to get ourselves into, dare I say it, a position to win a trophy. Now, let's have a little look at where we go. And I think we're going to go and see a man that some would call a lovely fella. They call him the ever-impending sense of Doom. We'll go see Doom because I need to go to bed. Actually, I need to eat something. It's midnight. We're doing well. Let's go see Mr. Doom up in Scotland. So thank you for being here, guys. Love you all very much. We'll see you all tomorrow, to be honest. But for now, thank you. Have a good one. Goodbye. Good night. Good love. Good all that stuff. You know how it goes. You know how it be. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Let's go to the burb. And we'll see you tomorrow.